Good morning everybody. Today's topic is nothing but the introduction of the software testing. So what is testing? Testing is nothing but finding the bugs or preventing the bugs. Okay, finding the bugs or preventing. How we will find it? From starting requirement analysis to maintenance phase, we will find every phase, we will find out the bugs. But we want to search from starting state only. From starting state we rectify the bugs, then it is easy to solve the last bug. Under means maintenance bugs. So the first section I am saying about what is the purpose of bug. So what is the testing methods? You already know about the testing methods of unit testing, integration testing, system testing. So what is unit testing? In unit testing, we will find out the each and every module, single module will be divided, okay, will be divided to sub blocks, okay. Each and every module will be defined independently. Okay, next one, integration module. Integration testing means what? Integration is nothing but two modules are interconnected. Two modules will be connected to each other or integrated to each other to form a particular module. Next is system testing. System testing is nothing but involving all the methods from starting unit testing, integration testing, validating testing. All these testings will come at the system testing, where system testing involved in all the testings to develop the software development, right? So what are the testing tools? What are the testing tools means are nothing but which are using to operate the systems, which are used to develop the systems. Okay, next one we will talk about the taxonomy of products. Okay, taxonomy of bugs. So in taxonomy bugs, we will know first one, functional bugs. In functional bugs, we will define about the functional units. From requirement analysis, in requirement analysis, we will gather all the data which is from the internet or a browser, anything. We will find out the data, we will collect the data. So in the data, we will develop the particular project or a product. In this project, we will define some requirements or hardware requirements or software requirements. So in that requirements, we will specify some bugs. Okay, some bugs. Bugs are nothing but fault or a failure or nothing but defect. Okay, first we will know about the two differences of fault and failure. First one, fault. Fault is nothing but a single occurrence of bug. In coding language or any other programming language, if a single occurrence of bug will appear, then it is called as a fault. Coming to the next one, failure. Failure is nothing but the total system failure or a defect or incomplete a database or coding of a database or something failure, then the total system will be failed. Okay, so what is the difference? There are two types of systems. If a single bug occur, then it will be a fault or a defect. Okay, when it comes to the failure, the complete system will be collapse. So it is a differences in bugs also. Okay, so we will talk about the functional bugs. Functional bugs are the nothing but the internal bugs. Functional bugs are nothing but internal bugs. So which are nothing but the specification bugs. Specification of bugs means what? What are the internal? Means internal bugs we will rectify about off data or incomplete data. Means when we copy the external resources of a particular program, we will develop from external copy only. So what we are developing, we are internally developing our code, but in external code they will display only half of the data. The additional we will display. We have to display. So in additionally we have to display, no. So the specification of bugs will be incomplete, or means incorrect data or incompleted of data will be represented in the specification of the bugs. Coming to the feature bug. Feature bug means nothing but a missing data. Okay, what are the missing data or the misspelled data? Okay, when two words will be repeated to each other, then it will be a misspelled data. Okay, when it is misspelled data, it will become to the feature bug. Coming to the infection bug. infection bug is already I said about the failure. What is a failure? So what is the failure? Failure means nothing but what is the complete database or in the coding occurrence, means in coding we will find about the defects. So we will find the defects in the system or the particular programming, we will be affected by complete documentation or complete project will be stopped because of the infection bug. Infection bug is the dangerous bug, we will collapse all the documentation in the project. Fine. Next one. We will say about the structural bugs. Structural bugs is nothing but an internal, but it is nothing but a non-functional bugs also we can find. So in this we will develop, when we develop the project, we will develop particular code. In coding we will define a number of bugs. Okay, that number of bugs we will define as a 4 types, which are nothing but a control and sequential bug. Okay, in control sequential bugs where there is a logic differences, okay, incomplete or missing of logic or missing of data. Okay, when we are developing the code, if we do not start with the main and we will continue with the headers or something with data or internal structure, it will not define. Without main we cannot implement the other next point. We can't go to the next step. Okay, the starting step is the header functions and the main functions. After that only we will continue that. So the control and sequences bug means a starting step from header to the sequential axis, means sequentially we have to develop the code. Okay. Next one, logic bugs. In logic bugs we will define about the particular logics, which are nothing but if we implement the 3 cases, case 1, case 2, case 3, particular logic we are developing. So in the case 1, case 2, case 3 we will directly develop the case 3 and case 1. We don't have a case 2 material or case 2 code, so we will develop directly. Then the bug will occur in case 2 only. So the incompleteness of cases or if else statement, suppose we will take about the if else or if else if. Okay, in the statements, if we go directly through the if else if statements, it will not implement. After if statement we have to implement if else statement. So it is a sequential statements. Okay, so where the logic will be defined, slightly it will define. So slightly detects the bug, so it will define the particular bugs which are rectified in the code. Okay, coming to the next one, initialization of the bug. In initialization bug, when we start the project or when we start the particular software, we will initialize in our system particular data or particular software, what is nothing but Python or Java. We will downloading or initialization we are doing. When initialization, unwanted viruses or unwanted data will be occurred. So while installation also we have to be clear view about it is a virus free or a bug free, then it is easy to identify the initialization bugs. Okay, next one is nothing but a proposing bugs. Proposing bugs is not processing bugs. Okay, sorry, processing bug is nothing but processing bug is means nothing but in internal as well as external we will be processing data which are nothing but it a mathematical. In the code development we will develop the particular code in the numerical way also. In numerical way we will have a slightly difference. In slightly difference we will identify that mathematical logics are differ from each other. So it will be from first formula we will define the another formula, right? So if it is the same formula repeated one by one, it is nothing but we will say about processing bug. Okay, next step, coding bugs. Coding bugs are easily we can find at the execution of the data. When we execute the data, it is easy to implement. While implementation of the data, we can identify when we implement the data, when we are executing the data, at the last point we will identify some remarks at particular point or particular point we will identify particular data it is incorrect. So the bugs will be easily identified in the coding bugs. Coming coming to the testing bugs, testing is nothing but they are using the test cases or test plans. Okay, they are using the tools to develop the testing. But in testing also, while developing the testing also, we will find so many bugs when it is oriented to the test cases. Okay, so coming to the next one, data bugs. Data bugs is nothing but it is a numerical data or nothing but we will say about the general bugs which are repeated. So in this data bugs we have 4 types which are nothing but a general bugs or a static or dynamic bug or information bug or a content and structural bug. Coming to the general bug, okay, in general bug we will define about the incomplete state of data or which is empty state. Okay, now we will define invisible data. What suppose invisible data is there, in invisible data also empty state we will define. So it is nothing but uncorrupted data, which is nothing but which we will use the external resources, right? We will use the external resources. In external resources, if they don't develop that particular product, they will leave to the another person, right? We have to develop that particular product, right? So when we are developing, the leftover products or leftover bugs are there, no? We will identify about the leftover bugs only in general bugs. Coming to the static and dynamic bug. Static is the bug is nothing but we will define about the particular bug which is internally using. Okay, when we are using internally, what we are doing, source code is developing, right? In source code we will identify the particular bug. Coming to the dynamic bug, when we completion of the complete final product, when we are completion of the final product of the software, we will use to identify the dynamic bug, because this dynamic bug will be identified at the end of the state, which are nothing but the maintenance phase is easily solved for the dynamic bug. Okay, coming to the next one, information bug. Okay, information bug means what? Nothing but the information is nothing but gathered, where information means information taken from the static and dynamic bug. It is depends upon the static and dynamic. Okay, now what are the statements are passing through the coding, we will develop this code or we will rectify these bugs through the static and dynamic bug. Okay, next one, content and structure bug. Content and structure bug means what? Internal structure, we will develop the missing the statements of control statements which are nothing but if loop. Suppose say we will take a if statement I is equals to 1 or I less than 1. Okay, I plus plus. If we will not define what is the middle part of the for loop. Okay, if we will not define the for loop or a if loop, okay, we will continue as a statement, then the control content and the structural will be collapsed. We have to write complete statement of the for loop and complete statement of the if loop. Okay, then we will rectify the bugs, so we can prevent the bugs in the structural and content. We have to give the total content of the particular code. Fine. Next one is nothing but the interface and the integration bug. Interface and integration bug is nothing but the external bug. External, where it defines about the externally using hardware systems, where we are using externally what we are developing, internally we are developing about the software product or the software project, right? And externally we are developing about the documentations. Okay, in documentations also, first we have to know about the clear view of the project, then only furtherly we have to postpone. Okay, first we will know about what is the route map of the, what is the planning of the documentation, so that we have to develop the particular documentation. Next, internal bug. Internal bug means what? Suppose we have a internal structures we are developing for student marks. Internally we are developing, but externally they have to write the same. Okay, if he don't have the internal structure, he will not continue with the external, right? So this internal bug and external bug is connected to the each other, which is another. Okay, so next one is the hardware architecture. Hardware architecture, we will develop the flow charts, we will develop the DFD diagrams when we are developing the project. Okay, in hardware systems we will from starting state to end state we will represent in the graphical representation. In graphical representation, suppose we will access with suppose the graphical representation is successful, when it will be gone through the end state. When it is not successful, it gone through the first state and it will start from first state only. So we have to identify the decision taking. Okay, now if it is collapse, we can't identify, but it is difficult to identify in architecture. Coming to the operating system bug, in operating system, these all are the hardware bugs corresponding. Okay, now I am saying about the operating system bug. Operating system is nothing but the main functions which are executing to the subdivision functions, right? If we don't have a main function, we cannot continue with the subdivision functions. Okay, in bugs also we will divide the bugs into individual bugs which are rectify more. Okay, this is the main thing we have to remember, that testing, once you have tested it, when you release to the market, okay, when you release it to the market also, if the customer will test many times whether the product is right or not, because testing is not a it is not a perfect, okay, it is a continuous process. It will continuously coming bugs, it will continuously occurring bugs. Okay, so the most prevention must be occurred at the requirement analysis at the starting stage only. Okay, or insights will be increased daily at the till the end. If it is increases then it leads to the unwanted project. Okay, it will be not gone to the next step. Coming to the resource control bug. Resource control bug is nothing but the resources which are given like in hardware systems. Suppose what are the resources we are using? RAM, ROM, what are the operations we are using? What are the implementations method, what are the hardware requirements using? So in this hardware requirements or resources, we are developing the bugs. Okay, we are developing in the resources also, because if we not given a correct value in the hardware, or we are not using the updated versions or of a RAM or ROM or something else of implementation, we can't define in the control bug. So the resource bugs and the hardware bugs, okay, these are the main bugs we have to identify while developing the bugs. Okay, so these are the taxonomies of the bugs which we implement in the testing. And the taxonomy nothing but it is a truth which is saying about the truth of a bug. Okay, whether this taxonomy will divide into particular operations or history. It will say about the history or operations, right? It will say about history and operations. These history operations also divide into subdivisions. Okay, it will divide also into subdivisions, where it is a definition like a taxonomy is the finding bugs or a bug free, which is used to divide the two sections, which is it will say about the history or the operations which are going through the software, and also divide into subdivisions of the system. Okay, subdivision of a particular bug. Okay, so preventing of the bugs in early stage is easy to for the better success of a bug. Okay, this is the testing taxonomy. Thank you.